And so we begin this morning with a story. There was a man who came upon a bridge that provided passage across a river. He started across, and then he noticed someone coming from the opposite direction. As they moved closer, it seemed as though the other were coming to greet him. He could see clearly that he did not know this other, but that something was dressed around his waist. And when they were within hailing distance, he could see that what the other had was a rope. And it was wrapped around him many, many times, probably, if extended, would reach 30 feet. As they approached each other, the other began to uncurl the rope and said, "Pardon me, would you be so kind as to hold the end for a moment?" Surprised by the request, but curious, the man agreed without a thought, reached out, and took the rope. "Thank you," said the other man, "and remember, 2 hands hold tight," whereupon he jumped off the bridge. Quickly, the free-falling body fell the distance of the rope, 30 feet, and the man abruptly felt the pull forward. He had held tight, and he was almost dragged over the side. He managed to brace himself, and after catching his breath, yelled, "What are you trying to do?" "Just hold tight," said the other. This is ridiculous, the man thought, and began to try to haul the other in, but he did not have enough leverage. "Why did you do this?" he called out. "Remember," said the other, "if you let go, I will be lost." "But I cannot pull you up," the man cried. "I am your responsibility," said the other. "Well, I did not ask for it," the man said. "If you let go, I am lost." Well, the man looked around trying to find some help, but there was no one to be found. How long would he have to wait? Why did this happen to befall him? He examined the side of the bridge trying to find if there was a place he could tie the rope, but it was unusually uniform in shape, and there was no space to tie the rope. "Why did you do this?" he asked again. "Don't you see what you've done? What possible purpose could you have in mind?" "Just remember," said the other, "my life is in your hands." What should he do? If he let go his life, he will always know that he let the other man die. But he can't hold on to that rope forever. Either way, the moment will haunt him. With some ironic humor, he did think to himself, "I should just jump off the bridge while he's still holding on. That'll teach the fool." But he wanted to live, and to live life fully. A critical moment was drawing near. While he could not pull the other man up, if only he could shorten the rope, maybe he could get enough leverage. He shouted, "Now listen, I think I know how to save you," and he explained a plan. But the other wasn't interested. "You mean you won't help? But I told you I cannot pull you up by myself, and I don't think I can hang on much longer." "You must try. If you fail, I die." And then a new revelation hit the man, something so heretical to our traditional way of thinking. "I want you to listen very carefully," he said, "because I mean what I am about to say. I will not accept the position of choice for your life, only for my own." "What do you mean?" the man said. "I mean simply it's up to you. You decide the way this ends. I will become the counterweight, and you do the pulling and bring yourself up." And he began preparing the rope. You cannot mean what you say," the other said. "You could not be so selfish. I am your responsibility. Do not do this to me." There was no change in the tension of the rope. "I accept your choice," the man said, and let go his hands. Now, half of you in the room are horrified that this happened. I mean, Jesus would never let go of the rope, would he? Would he? The story is a dramatic illustration of the challenges we face in relationships. And there's 3 takeaways I want us to look at. Number 1, helping other people is the right thing to do. When the man on the bridge first agreed to hold the rope, he was demonstrating that foundational truth. We are all accountable for the well-being of others, and our natural instinct is to lend a hand. The man initially held on even though he was nearly pulled over. This act of saving another life is a sacred duty. However, true help, as Jesus will demonstrate to us, is not about becoming tied to the other. The problem on the bridge started when one person turned to the other person and took an offer of help and demanded total one-sided responsibility. We are not called as Christians to be enmeshed with one another. We're not called to be martyrs. We are not called to be self-appointed saviors. We are ambassadors of reconciliation. And the calling, the command we have is to love God with all our heart, our soul, our mind, and love our neighbors as ourselves. And you cannot truly love your neighbor if you've lost yourself or your purpose or your health while trying to take responsibility for them. A healthy Christian is the greatest gift to a needy world. Takeaway number 2, be clear about who you are responsible for. I say to my children repeatedly, the truth is you are only responsible for, there you go. It's important to remember. And it's important to name no amount of nagging or threats or cajoling will motivate an unmotivated person, whether that is a child, a coworker, or a parent on the spectrum of life. But like our hero on the bridge, there are situations where we will try all those techniques to motivate somebody to change. And this is where that concept of self-differentiation comes in. You must know where you end and where others begin. Now, Jesus understood this better than anyone. Consider the man in the pool in Bethsaida. Jesus didn't ask, "How can I help you?" Jesus didn't ask, "Why are you in this situation?" He said, "Do you want to get well?" The question of responsibility was put on the one in need. And when the man responded with excuses after excuses, Jesus did not help him get down to the pool. He simply commanded him to get up and walk. He did not take on the stress of the man. He made the man responsible for himself. Jesus offers us the gift of healing, of grace. It isn't forced, it is invitational. And takeaway number 3, change has to start with us. The man on the side of the bridge shrieked, "You would not be so selfish as to let me die." But the man on the bridge realized that if you see your family or your organization as being dysfunctional, the person you need to be looking at to change is yourself. When you focus on being responsible for yourself, defining who you are and what you believe, you become a non-anxious presence that makes everybody around you a little bit healthier. We are often told that leadership is about having the perfect solution or building a consensus or having that charismatic force of personality that will motivate or manipulate people. Leadership is about choice, and it's about hard choices that lead us forward to the place that we have differentiated we are going. The only way to help others take responsibility is to stop being their counterweight. And when the man on the bridge freed his hands, he finally got to continue his journey to the other side. This is the theological key to understanding Jesus' power. he self-differentiated, which allowed him to engage in the ultimate act of connection. A friend of mine bumped into the rope analogy this way in a humorous example that I think is important for us. He volunteers in his daughter's 4th grade class, and some of the girls tried to give him the rope. "Do you know who your daughter is dating?" they asked him. "Actually," he said, "it's none of my business until she tells me." And then he wrote in the text to me, "Not today, little 4th grade girls, not today. I will not pick up the rope." People will hand you the rope in your life every single day. Perfectionism, conscience-driven paralysis, fear of conflict, emotional enmeshment, financial reliance, chronic complainers. Take my rope. The only healthy choice is to ask yourself, what ropes do you need to let go of?